And I'm about to bring on our guest really quick. I'm going to do a quick intro to our guest today. Guys, this is going to be a good one. If you are on right now, do not go anywhere, because you are going to learn some interesting things. You're going to get inspired. You're going to get motivated. You're going to learn something. And it might not be something I say. It might not be something that my guest says today, but it might be something that makes you think of another thing, that makes you think of another thing, that makes you think of, oh, let me do this thing. And that's the thing that you need to do that changes everything. That's it, guys. Get your piece of paper, get your pen, and let's freaking ride. To set the stage before I bring this guest on, a lot of you that are listening to this call, I don't know if it's half, I don't know if it's 75%, I don't know if it's 40%, whatever the case is. A lot of you guys that are listening to this call in this free group are people with JOBs, just over brokes, right? The job, the 9 to 5, the tie, the polo, the, hey, super advisor, can I go take a shit? Yeah, as long as it's 20 minutes. Awesome. Hey, Mr. Boss, can I go on a vacation? Yeah, how many days is it? Hey, Mr. Boss, I'm sick today. Well, can you give me a doctor's note? For those that are in the JOB, or maybe you have another business that's sucking your soul, that is a time for money type of a thing, and you are literally trading time for dollars. You're like, oh my gosh, this isn't getting me anywhere. Whichever category you fall in, and you're here for a reason. You're here because you know that this model is intriguing. You know that this model is interesting. You know that this model has very big potential. And you may be in a spot where you would love to be able to do this full time, but maybe your job currently doesn't allow you to do this. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of a background of why I'm bringing this guest on. In 2017, for those that are new to this channel, new to this show, this YouTube or this Facebook Live we do every single Wednesday. In 2017, I was coming off of the ass end of a failed business, a failed software business. I'm sitting on the couch with my wife. We have $3,000 in the bank, a bunch of debt. She doesn't know about it this time, but in my head, I was just kind of putting off like, yeah, it's not really debt because the business works, but it was debt. And basically she said to me, Nick, you're getting scammed. This software guy that keeps telling you that it's coming, it ain't coming. You're getting scammed, dude. Wake up. And that's the moment I knew my business was over. And she said, you need to get a job. And I said, I'm not getting a job. She said, well, you need to go and sell, because that's how you were providing for us before this pipe dream's over, dude. You got to help us. This is your family, man. Like, obviously she didn't say man, obviously she didn't say dude, but she had the tone. You guys know what I'm talking about, the tone. She was not messing around. I said, give me 3 days. This is July 27th. I said, give me till the end of the month, and I will have $3,000 that can pay the bills, pay the house payment. That combined with what we have right now should buy us a month. She said, okay, I'll take that bet all day. You haven't made money in a year. You've been chasing this thing, whatever. She didn't say this is what I could take from it. And she gave me 3 days. And I did the only thing that I knew how to do. Is I thought in my head, I thought, what could I do to generate quick cash? What could I do to start making money? What could I do to start paying the bills right now so that I don't have to go back to the job? So that even though this may not be digital real estate exactly, but what can I do to pay the bills so that I can buy myself some time and some freedom to pay the bills? And so I did what I knew how to do. And that was, I started taking on SEO jobs. I started grabbing SEO jobs. Hey, you want your website ranked? Cool. Let me show you how. Boom. I rank your website. Hey, you want to get more leads from your business? Cool. Give me your website. It's X amount, $1,000 a month. Boom, boom, boom. I did 3 deals in 3 days, made $3,000 on a retainer, grabbed the $3,000, paid the bills, bought myself a month. And I did that for the next year to start getting, back on my feet. Now, I want to be very careful about what we talk about today, because I do not want people getting distracted. I do not want people thinking that I think this is a better alternative in any way, shape, or form, because you guys, this doing SEO, taking on jobs it is a time for dollars play. Okay. It is a time for dollars play. And there's a way to do it. There's a way not to do it. There's a way to carefully do it. And the only thing that I advise as we get in, it's a very interesting conversation, very interesting guy that I'm going to be bringing on today that's really crushing it in this space. But I want you guys to remember that if you're not careful, you'll go down the rabbit hole. If you're not careful, you'll piss away 2 years of your life, and you'll end up with an SEO business, not assets, not a book of assets, not a portfolio of assets, but you will end up with an SEO business trading your time for dollars. So I want you guys to be very cautious, but I also want you guys to know that some of you guys might be in a situation where you need to free up time. You need to start making money. You need to get to a point where you can get the money to start, running ads, jumping into digital landlords, whatever the case is. And I am very excited to just show you guys and introduce you guys to one of my buddies and also one of my past students for over a year now, Mr. Well, I'm going to wait. Let me admit him right now while I get a drink of water. It is getting cooking in here. Hey, carrying out a sweat towel, man. Next thing you know, I'm going to be wearing freaking oversized sweats, carrying around a koozie like Porter. Zach Powell, what's up, bro?
How's it going, Nick? Good to see you, man.
Dude, can you hear me? Yeah. Good to see you, bro. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Beautiful, bro. Tell everyone location-wise. I know that you're going to be like, bro, you know where I'm at. Where are you sitting right now, location-wise, physically?
Arizona. It's nice here, man. Nice and toasty. Loving it.
It's AZ, Vegas, and then even where I'm at, St. George is a very similar climate. I'll take the heat all day. I'll take the lizard skin over that snow. You all can keep the snow.
Totally.
That's how I feel. But nonetheless, dude, did you go to ASU, by the way?
No, I went to BYU up in Utah. So
I'm messing with you, bro. Zach went to the exact opposite of ASU. He went to BYU. ASU, you can't walk 5 steps without tripping over somebody that's partying. At BYU, you get kicked off campus for that stuff. So just giving you a hard time, bro.
Yeah, every 5 feet, someone's studying. So
yeah, every 5 feet, someone's studying. Dude, BYU is actually a really good school. As much as I give people a hard time, that my mother-in-law's what do you call it, an alumni. So I'm always like, man, your football team, dude, come on, man, pick it up.
That's never good.
It's always a heartbreaker for those people. But so guys, this is Zach Powell. Now I'm excited about this conversation. I have talked at length with Zach. I've vetted Zach. There's a lot of people that come into groups, that come into programs, that kind of whatever, and they start talking about their success, and you can just kind of smell it. And it's not that everything's not right. And so anyway, if you guys have seen some of Zach's posts, this guy is the real deal. He's crushing it. He's cranking it. And I want to have him share a little bit of his story. And then we're going to get into some practical advice for maybe some of you guys are in a kind of a similar spot that he was in, you got a 9-to-5, you're paying the bills, and you want to get out as quickly as possible so you can focus on doing your own thing and building assets, building rank and rent assets. So Zach Powell, Mr. Zach Powell, can you give us the rundown on where you were at just a few short years ago when you were at the J.O.B and what life was like and what you like, just your mental headspace at that time?
Yeah, totally. So 2 years ago, I had 0 clients. I was learning about SEO, learning about lead gen, trying to rank sites, trying to get stuff going. And then a couple months later, I got laid off from my job. And I was lucky though, because I had 3 months of severance. And
where were you working, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
It's called Ubiquity. They make like Wi-Fi access points for schools and big places. So it's like a big tech company, public company.
Oh.
So I'm working there and I got laid off and they said, okay, we're going to pay you your salary for 3 months, but you can't get another job in this time. And I was like, wow, 3 months, like what an opportunity.
Yeah.
And
why would they do that? Sorry to distract. Why the hell would they care if you got another job? Because they don't want you double dipping?
Yeah, it was weird. They said, if you get another job, then your severance ends. And so like, I'm like, okay, I'm obviously not going to get another job and I'm just going to grind on my business. And I kind of set like, okay, I have 3 months to, make enough money where I don't need another job. And so I was just kind of
what's wrong. That's what's wrong with our country, but go ahead.
Yeah, it was a weird situation, but I was like, okay, how do I take advantage of this?
Dude, it's like this, bro. Imagine getting divorced, right? Or breaking up with your girlfriend and being like, hey, we're breaking up. I'm going to leave you with some breadcrumbs to move on to your next thing. but you got 90 days. You can't get with anyone. It's like, dude, that's so stupid. But anyway, keep going, bro. And
Yeah.
it just ticks me off. Did you see I got kicked off because I quoted Drake, dude, with the edited version even, man. Come on. Anyway, keep
Yeah.
going.
So it's just a funny situation, but I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna build lead gens. I'm gonna get whatever monthly recurring revenue I can get. I didn't have your digital landlords course yet, so I was just like struggling, and I couldn't just make very much success. But I finally, some family friends and some people were like, "Oh, you build websites?" Um, they're like, "We pay our website guy like, $300 a month, and he doesn't do anything." And I was like, "Well, shoot, I'll rebuild your website, throw it up for you, and when you want an update, let me know." And I
Yeah.
just started getting these little deals that they honestly weren't even SEO deals. It was just like build the website, change whatever they want from time to time. And I would just take $100, $200, $300, whatever, and build that website
And
because
you
they were
just
paying me
started
monthly.
slowly building your book of business on that.
Yeah. But what sucked was 3 months came up, and I knew I need to be at 7 grand a month to pay for my lifestyle. I've got a wife and 2 kids now. So like for my wife, for me to feel comfortable, I needed to be at 7,000 a month. And I was only at like 4,000 a month. So I had to get another job. And so I started this job 3 months later, and I'm going through the training. It's like 3 weeks long. And it was literally the worst 3 weeks of my life because I had just been working on my business and loving it and growing it and learning. Like I was learning slowly because I was just figuring everything out on my own, and I didn't have like a mentor to like help me get there faster. It was like trial and error, like beating my head against the wall every day, but I was just doing it to get a little bit more, a little bit more. But I didn't have enough. So then I go start this new job, 3 weeks into it, and it was terrible. They basically said, "Hey, you'll just be closing deals," but it ended up they wanted me to cold call like 100 people a day, and they kind of lied to me in the interview process. And so I kind of got a little pissed. At the end of this training, they're like, "Okay, your training's done. Start calling 100 people a day and build out your pipeline." And I was like, "What the heck?" You said I'd be closing deals,
Right.
because I had imagined I would be continuing to build my business on the side. So I went to my wife and I said, "Look, like I don't want to call 100 people a day. I don't want to work this job because it's going to suck so much time out of me. And
Right.
I'm right on the cusp. I can feel it. I'm at like 4 or 5 grand. All I need is a little more, and I can do this full time, like with no risk even because I'm bringing in the money I need." And she's like, "Okay, that makes sense. Feel free, quit the job. We have a little bit of savings, and you better make this thing explode in like 1 or 2 months, or else you're getting another job."
Sounds
So
familiar, bro.
yeah, the wife drive is like, "Oh, free.
Yes.
I'm working 24/7 until this happens." Um, but what happened was once I quit that job, um, I started nailing down my processes a lot better. And instead of just me doing everything, I started hiring the right team members. And so, it used to be I would get a client and it would take me 3 days to build their site. And then I'd go try and get another client. You know, Once I could hire a website builder, then I bring on the right people on the team, I could just scale. And once I figured out my systems, it was like all of a sudden I was at 10,000 a month, and that was like a year ago. And then
Tell everyone
just
where you're
keep
at today, bro. Tell everyone how much did you make in April?
just hit over 40,000 in April. So
Unreal.
yeah.
Dude, I remember, so Zach and I have been in some like other programs together. So we kind of like loosely had seen each other's posts or whatever. Not that we'd ever had much conversation. He jumped into digital landlords a little over a year ago, but I was just going to say, dude, I remember like in some of these other groups hearing of like I remember hearing somebody making like 50 grand. And I was like, what would that even be like, dude? Like, that's so much money. I just thought in my head, I was like, that's where I got to get to. That would be so, and that's a great, like, it's a great spot to be. And I know you're not even close to done, but like now that you've achieved it, it doesn't feel like as much as you thought it was. You're like, I got to get to the next level, the next level. But anyway, guys, this dude's at $40,000 per month. How many people, all of us have the rich uncle, the rich whatever that like supposedly makes billions and trillions of dollars. But besides that, how many people do you actually know personally that are ripping down $40,000, $50,000 per month? And they could prove it with a Stripe account. Not that they're telling you that. I remember a couple of years ago, I had a neighbor that was just ripping down about that. He's making like 600 a year. And me and my wife was like, dude, that guy's killing it. He's got the GTR. He's got this, he got that. He's just like, $600,000 is a lot of money, dude. It's well, I guess 480 to 600. My point is, guys, this is a guy that knows what he's doing. This is a guy he's been grinding, he's been hustling, and you need to just pay attention to what we're about to talk about. So from making $7,000 a month roughly to $40,000 per month with your business. Really quick before we jump into some of the questions and the angle, I want to go tell everyone what your team looks like. What does it take to manage $40,000 a month? As far as like, I know you mainly use outsourcers, so can you tell us what your team looks like?
Yeah, it's actually way more simple than people would think. Like right now, I've got 2 website builders, 1 content writer, 2 cold callers, and I'm actually now hiring closers in the US to close the deal, so I'm not closing them anymore, which is crazy because it frees up my time. I have like all the time in the world now, which is weird, but yeah, it's just like a small team. Oh, and I just added 1 like SEO specialist guy. So 6 guys, 6 people in the Philippines.
6 people in the Philippines, $40,000 a month. So your overhead ain't much. Let's just leave it there.
I'll just be honest, our profit margin is like 80%. It's insane.
So yeah, dude's putting money in his pocket. Here's the thing. Even when I scaled up to 100K per month in 2020, everyone was like, what's your team? What's your team? My team was like 8 people, bro. 8 people. Now I had a lot of US people. That was a little bit of a difference. That's why I only needed 8, but like you can make $1 million with a small team. You can make $1 million a year with a small team with this business. Profit margins are juicy. It's recurring. I mean, you're not going and we're not doing a solar farm here. This isn't a car factory. We can do this all from the comfort of your room in Arizona, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, maybe that's why my profit margin's high. I just work from my house, but I'm getting an office soon, so that'll be fun.
It's all good, dude. For me, the office is kind of like, I go in waves. I'm like, I crave the office vibe. Like today, I went to a co-working space a friend of mine owns, and I was there for a couple hours, and it's like, I worked the last 2 days from home. Tomorrow I'll be back there. I like the mix up. I don't like to be I get too tired of being at home, too tired to be in the office. So it's good to have both, I think.
Totally.
Okay, so bunch of questions, guys. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask him a few questions. If you guys have questions for him, start dropping them in the comments. But essentially what Zach has done, guys, is he realized, and I want you to talk about this a little bit, as he was in a position where he's like, I gotta get my bills taken care of. I gotta get to that $7,000 per month as quick as possible. And what's the quickest way that I can do that? And so that's why he started just inking SEO deals. SEO, just boom, 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 boom. So for somebody that's like got a full-time job, or maybe they're making a little bit of money online, what advice would you give to that person that wants to just get, because the game is this, guys, is some of you guys are in a position where maybe your job allows it. Maybe you have another business, maybe you have savings or whatever, but some of you guys, you're like, your jobs are taking all of your time and it's really hard to build this on the side, and you need to quit your job as soon as possible, but quitting it cold turkey is kind of scary. So what Zach did is he went and got enough SEO deals coming in where he could quit his job, free up that extra time. And now he's got his SEO business. He's selling rank and rent sites to his SEO clients. He's just doing this really strategically. What would be your advice for somebody that is currently in the spot you were in?
Good question. I think you nailed it with the time thing. The thing I think most people don't have is time. And so that's why they struggle so much. they've got all these demands with their work, their family, whatever. And like to build an online business, it needs consistent daily effort. And so the way I thought about it was every deal I land, it frees up my time because it either increases my savings with working on my job, I'm getting a bigger cushion. So when I quit my job, I've got more of a runway to really get things cranking. So that's the way I think about it. Every single deal you land frees up your time. Unless you land like a psycho client that is like on you all the time and pissing you off every day, I would just cut that guy out. Like, you want to find the chill clients. They usually make a lot of money. You're just a bill to them. They never think about it. It's on auto pay. It's for your leads, for your lead gen site. It's for your, it's for your SEO, or even it's for their website. You're literally doing nothing, but you built their website and you update it when they want to, and they pay you a couple $100 or more every month for that expertise. And so the way that you find those people is just continual outreach. And that's what I was doing for those 3 months, and those 2 months was like talking to as many people as I could and finding just the people that were going to be chill clients. And so now 2 years later, like I still have, it's crazy. I have lead gen clients I haven't talked to in over a year. And I have this SEO client, this one that I'm thinking of, I haven't talked to him in probably a year and a half, and he pays $500 a month and never wants any updates on his website, but he ranks well, so he just pays me.
It's amazing.
It's awesome. I mean, it's not as sticky as like a lead gen because they're getting those leads, but it's just kind of like a bill in his mind, and he just pays it. We never talk, and he just pays it. And so those kind of connections helped me quit my job. That cash flow. So just free up your time. That's the biggest thing. Free up your time, and you'll be able to grow faster.
That's what you got to do, guys, is you have to be able to, because like, let's say you need $10,000 to survive. What we're talking about is maybe you go and you get $10,000 in SEO, and in the first 2 days of the week, let's say Monday, Tuesday, or maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can service all. It should only take you 2 days tops. Monday, Tuesday, you service all your clients' stuff. You now have 3 days in the week plus your Saturday where you can go and work on your rank and rent business building assets. Now, there's also a really cool strategy where you guys, what you should be doing, in fact, we're going to get that into a second. What I was going to ask you, or I was going to say is, Zach is he's kind of approached this in the same way that I did with this pre-selling, right? Is I knew there had to be a better way than doing the old school, slow method, wheelchair method of rank and rent, where you build a site, you wait 6 months, you wait 9 months, and maybe you'll sell it, maybe you won't. I'm like, there's got to be a better way. I got to scale. There's got to be a better way. And so I was just like, that 2020 was just me in the office, man. I was just like the scientist in the lab. I was like the drug dealer cooking up the cocaine, if you want to go dark, just perfecting the formula and spending money, testing this, testing that, doing this, making this mistake. In a similar fashion, because Zach saw quick success with his SEO deals, he started testing out some different unique strategies of how do you land SEO clients? How do you consistently land SEO clients? So you have some we're not going to go into them on this call. We may at a future point. I think me and Zach talked about maybe doing like some kind of some type of a training type of a thing where if you guys are interested, where he can kind of show you guys some of those strategies and just doing like this would be completely separate from this group, but you've got some really cool strategies as we talk to go and land those clients. Anyway, the moral of the story, guys, is regardless of what you're doing, what I love about this whole conversation and having Zach on is you've taken control of your life. You're able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, from your house, from your office. Your wife's taken care of, your kids are taken care of. You guys have more opportunities. Like it's just crazy because, and I know this kind of sounds like a redundant conversation, but it's so bananas to me that we have one life, right? We literally are here we only got one chance. And it's like, we might have 80 years, whatever. And all of us listening, we probably have less than 50 or maybe around 50 years. And we're so scared to go and take control of our lives that we're going to get told, is it crazy that people still have to ask permission to go to the bathroom and to go on vacation? Dude, does that seem weird? Or is it just me?
I could never go back to that for sure. That would
Dude,
suck.
I like, now that I think about going back, like, dude, and you know what's funny? I work so much more and so much harder than I did working a job, which is ironic, but I love it because I'm building what I want to build, right? And so here's what I want to ask you. When you said something earlier, I thought of this and I was like, I want to ask him this. Dude, what's the long term for you, man? What's the end goal for you? Because obviously we all make money because there's this itch that we want to scratch and we want to go. And like, we just had somebody last night that joined our digital landlords program. And this is just like, somebody wants to just like have time freedom and go kite surfing and go skiing and go and exploring the world. And I'm like, I love what you want to do, man. What's your thing? Like when you get to 100,000 or whatever, what's the end goal for you? What's the why, bro?
That's an awesome question. I mean, short term, it's just the time freedom. Like next week, I'm going to Cabo on a surf trip, which is going to be epic. But beyond that, I think like the real long-term goal is helping other people. And I've kind of realized that because all my friends, all my family, they kept asking me like, dude, how are you doing this? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, honestly, it's not that hard. And I have kind of the systems dialed in. Like this past month, for example, my company increased our monthly recurring revenue by $7,000. And like, I didn't even feel like I worked that much because I had family in town. I was taking time off. Like, I feel like I didn't work that hard, and we increased by 7,000 a month. And that's basically like thinking of that 7,000. It made me think, wow, that's what I needed to originally quit my job, and now I'm able to do it in a month. And I have a small team, and it kind of clicked in my mind. And I was like, if I had the knowledge that I have now back when I was trying to quit my job, I could literally quit my job, no problem, in like 1 or 2 months. I just didn't know. I didn't have that knowledge. And so I think one of the things I want to do is pass that knowledge out. Like if people want that, just be able to provide that and say, hey, look, here's the exact template. If your main goal is quitting your job or freeing up your time in 1 or 2 months, here's exactly how you can do it, because I'm doing it every month. And it's only costing me like a little bit of money to have these things in place and these processes in place. So that's probably a big thing is helping people, you know?
And I think, and guys, I've talked to Zach enough where like there's people that say they want to help people because it's like the cool thing to say, but like I've talked to you enough, like I legitimately know that's what you want to do. And there really is something that like feels good about helping. Like, man, nothing feels better than when I see somebody like, I mean, let me think of an example. Like, let's just take Ashley, right? Ashley De La Rosa. That's like helps us so much inside of our program. Dude, I might make her a little bit embarrassed by saying this, but when we started working together, she was making $600 a month, $600 a month. And she was stressed out of her mind, almost in tears. And she now makes over $10,000 a month. Like, it's such a cool thing to be able to know that you help somebody do that. So anyway, I know like this is probably something that we're going to get into maybe in a future call, but I know that a couple of your friends and stuff have reached out and they're like, dude, what the heck? How are you making this money? And Zach's just kind of been like, well, here's what I'm doing. And he's had a couple of friends already that have been able to quit their job. And this is just very like, kind of just hey, this is what I'm doing. So, yeah, there's a lot that we may want to talk about in a future call for anyone that might want to do the same thing. But again, going back to what I was saying,
that's the most fulfilling. Yeah, that's the most fulfilling thing is like when my brother lands a deal, or my brother-in-law now, like they're all into it. When they land deals, I'm more happy for them than I am for me, because I already have 100 or whatever deals, and adding another one, it's not that big of a deal. But for them, it's like life-changing. They hit their 10th, 15th, 20th sale and like free up all their time. Those sales for them are way more life-changing than another sale for me. So I get way more excited with them. So I
totally relate to that, because as you know, I've got my brother Porter in the group. He's he got up to like $9,600. He had a client or two cancel with some turnover, but he scaled really quickly. I got my other brother who's a cop. He's at, I think, 3 deals. So, and I think he's doing around 4,000 to 5,000. So I do understand it. It's like, it's that thing, whenever you find something that's awesome, you want to share it with people. But the last thing to kind of wrap up what I was asking is like, everyone listening has a different kind of why, right? Like we all have that thing. And some of us want to come into this and just do it as big as possible. Like, I'm going to go make as much money as I can and go and conquer the internet. And that's awesome. But there's also a lot of people, it's like, I want to make enough money because in my culture, like I know a lot of people in some of their cultures, they take care of their parents, right? Because that's what you do. And that's really honorable. And then there's other people that are like, hey, I read Tim Ferriss's book and I follow Jesse Itzler and I want to go build my life resume and I want to go do all this cool stuff. And for me, you know, one of the big things that I kept saying for years and years, I was like, I kept asking myself, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I always kept coming back to like, I want to be able to get to a point where I can just like put stuff on autopilot and build businesses in Africa. There was just like, I've got this written down all over. And I was like, why, what's so special about that? Why do I want to do this? And ultimately I realized that like, it was something that was like a challenge. It was unique. It was different. It was interesting. And I thought this was going to be like 10 years from now or 20 years from now when I sold this, you know, company is whatever. And here I am, dude. I'm literally in West Africa living right now. I'm running my business. I already invested in, I just made an investment in a company. I'm looking at 2 additional companies. I actually got the valuation for one today. Like I'm doing exactly what I set out to do. And I did it by using this business model. So I want you guys to know, like, just because you don't want to make, you don't have to want to make $100,000. Maybe you just want to make enough to be able to have your time freedom, your location freedom, your financial freedom, and go and do what you freaking want to do. Whether that's a DJ, whether you want to write books, whether you want to freaking say, hey, I'm going pro in golf because it's just cool because you can do whatever you want using this vehicle. And I think that what you're doing for people that have a full-time job could be a really good option to like quit their job and then free up all their time to be able to focus on digital real estate. Because make no mistake, guys, Zach's not dumb. He understands that on the back end of his SEO deals, he wants to sell as many digital real estate deals, as many rank and rent deals as possible for insurance, because eventually some of these, if not all of these SEO deals, people get weird. People always get weird when you don't have an asset, you have no control. So he's being really, really smart about it. But anyway, I'm going to go through questions. Do you have anything that you want to add?
Yeah, I think just being a master of your time, it's weird. When you're at a job, people kind of look at you differently. When you own your own company, there's no ceiling on what you can make, first off. But second off, different opportunities will come. Kind of like Nick said, now he's having all these businesses, all these opportunities. Once everyone knew that I was just like working for myself, like different business deals, different opportunities start coming up. People that, the guy that invited me on this surf trip, he wouldn't have invited me if he knew I had a job. He invited me, and it's like a specific group of guys that are just doing some really cool stuff that I want to go on this surf trip with. And I was invited because of my situation. So different doors will open up as you free your time up. You'll be able to say yes to more things you want to say yes to, and no to things that you've wanted to say no to for your whole life. So
it's interesting because a lot of times people go, well, I can't find any, like I'm trying to level up my circle. It's like, you have to be leveled up yourself, or your trajectory has to be going in the right spot to even like there has to be a reason for them to want to invite you on the surf trip. You didn't just go puppy dog and say, hey, can I come on this trip? So you have to, if you guys are like, man, I want to level up my circle. Well, you're going to need to take control of your life first. That's, you need to be somebody that would add value to them in a similar fashion, or it's not going to happen. I mean, that's it. Okay. Gaius, Mr. Gaius. That's actually how you say his name. It's Greek. He's in California. He said, dude, that's me. That's me at work. And Gaius, I do know your situation. Zach, can you still hear me?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. I know your situation, and dude, you need to get out of the situation, bro. You need to get your time back. You need to buy your time back. Todd Kennelly says, many business owners tell me that they get enough clients without the need to pay someone for leads. How are you finding the right client who's actually willing to pay for lead gen? That's really easy. Go find someone who's already paying for marketing. If somebody's paying for Google Ads and is also telling you that they have enough leads, they're lying to you. If they're so fat and happy, why would they be wasting money on leads? So say, Mr. Business Owner, you're either lying to me or you're allergic to money, right? Not one or the other. That's it. Okay. Todd says, I need a system like Zach has for helping others to succeed. Absolutely, Todd. Todd, what we'll try to do is in a couple of weeks, we'll try to have Zach back on and maybe do some more, like in-depth, actual practical training of what he's actually doing. I just wanted to open you guys up, your minds up a little bit to this might be the route for some of you guys that are stuck in that job. And so maybe at a future point, we can have Zach come back on and do a little bit of training on specifics on what you're actually doing. Let's see. Okay, Shane Terrell says, may have missed this in the beginning, but Zach, did you take a similar approach to Nick's sales process, selling SEO deals, or was the SEO all before knowing Nick?
That's a good question. So I bought Nick's course like right during those 3 weeks when I was hating life. And so I was like, hey, this is gonna help me do it, right? And so I went through his training, and his sales stuff was awesome. And I had this lead gen that I was trying to rent out that was getting good leads for like, it was my first lead gen I built, the best one, and I couldn't rent it out. And so that was the example I used, followed Nick's process, boom, sold it. And then I basically, with all the other SEO deals that were coming my way, I just tweaked kind of Nick's sales process through SEO and dialed it in, and boom, it started exploding. So I guess I didn't give Nick enough credit in the beginning. It totally was.
No, you're good. That's like, not, yeah, don't worry, bro. You're good. What I was going to say is, and I've now that we've talked enough, I kind of know what your approach is. It's very, very similar. The only difference is just how and who he goes after, the places that he finds these people. But other than that, it's guys, it's like anything in life, like anything, dude. In fact, I'll give you an example. Right now, there's a company that is here in Freetown, right here in Sierra Leone. Dude, this company is doing, they're literally, I can't too much detail because I'm hoping that I can get in on this deal, but I found out about this company, you don't ever hear about this. This company's raised $30 million. No one invests in West Africa. $30 million. They are literally selling something that has like a 99% profit margin. It's ridiculous. Their trajectory is to the moon. And I got a meeting with these guys and I'm like, I want to get involved. And they're like, well, dude, like equity, that's going to be tough. And I'm like, well, I'm not interested in doing any job. Like, I don't want you to pay me. I want equity. And I'm sitting here this week, like, how can I get in on this deal? Because this is going to be this is already a $2 million company and it's going to keep going. And all the data proves it. And I'll give you guys more details as it comes, but I'm sitting there going, how do I get in on this deal? How do I get equity in this deal? And I literally sat there with an open note and at the top, I wrote, add value first. How do I go in and add value to these guys without asking for anything in return, to prove to them that I know what I'm doing, to prove to them that I can bring value in the stuff that I know how to do, in the money that I give, in the marketing that I know how to do, to get in on this deal. So my point being is Zach is doing what anyone's doing, what I'm doing, what anyone that knows what they're doing, and he is going in, adding value up front, and then closing the deal. It's very simple, guys. It's very, very simple. TJ says, how do you add value to the prospects before closing? Free lead, because yeah, in lead gen, you give free leads. In yours, how do you add the free value? Maybe you just give a teaser to not give away the sauce. Give us a teaser.
That's an awesome question. What I do really well is give them education. And I tell them exactly what they're currently doing well, what they're currently doing bad, what needs to be changed, and my honest thoughts on if they're getting what they're paying for. Like, are they getting enough bang for their buck? And almost always they're not. And I can give them more bang for their buck. And they're like, I trust this guy. You know, he has all the knowledge. He knows, he broke it down exactly, you know, and it's not that complicated. For them, like, they don't want to get into the details. It's like a simple overview in reality, but explaining things clearly, they understand, yeah, that's what I should do.
Isn't it funny how everyone's like, don't give away too much value. Why would you tell the customer how to do that? And it's like, bro, you think the customer's actually going to go do that?
No, hey, they're never going to do it. If you explain it, they still would have to learn about it, know how to do it. Like, they don't have time for that. So I don't care. I can tell anyone I'm pitching, I can tell all my secrets to. Like, look, this is what I'm doing. And this is why I'm valuable, because it takes a lot of time to do this stuff. But in reality, it's my team doing it. So
100%. It's just like this group, right? People are like, this group's awesome. You're giving away so many good tips. I've even had people say, you're sharing too much. I'm like, look, dude, at the end of the day, like I've seen a couple people that are brand new on this call. Like, I think it's Jed I saw him new. We were texting before this. It's like, bro, this group, if you want to scavenge every video, take notes, watch it on 2x speed. Yeah. In six to 9 months, you can watch every one of my videos and you could probably get a good rhythm for what to do, but good luck. It's going to take a lot. You know what I'm saying? So give away value, because at the end of the day, there's always going to be those things, those questions that people have that you're going to still, they're not going to know how to do them. And that's where you're going to come in. So don't be afraid to give away value. Let's see.
I think the other thing is, like, when you can learn from someone else, I think people don't realize how much that can speed up your progress. So, like, for me, it's taken like 2.5 years to get to where I'm at now. Now, like, my brother-in-law, other dudes that I'm helping, whatever, they're like hitting these targets that I hit. And like, it took me a year to hit this target. They're hitting it in like a month or a month and a half.
Because you're telling them what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're giving them the blueprint, bro. It's just like,
and that's what you're doing. It's like,
think about Ryan Dalton. It took me how long to get to 100K? And I didn't get to 100K until 2020. That's the same year I got to 30K. Dude got to 35K in lead gen in 1 year because he knew exactly what to do and he applied it. So it's very, very true, dude. Gayu says, this is a question I know the answer to, and I think many do, but this I'm going to let you answer it, bro. Gayu says, can you do SEO rank and rent all over the world? Do you have to have a special license?
No license needed anywhere in the world.
It's
just all online. Just take care of it all online. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter that I have people calling people in the Philippines. They have a US phone number and they sound really good on the phone. You know, it's like, it doesn't matter.
Dude, SEO and any online business, including lead gen, it's the wild, wild west, dude. There's no licensing. There's no training, which means for the customer, they have to be very, very careful. But that's why people like Zach can come in. They can tell he knows what he's talking about. They can tell that he's trustworthy, and he can snag a lot of business, swoop in and grab a lot of business from people because they can tell instantly, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. My current guy does not. So, dude, that you could literally you could go today, you could go get an SEO deal. You could hit up Zach, you could hit up somebody like Zach, say, hey, Zach, how much would you give me for this deal? And you could sell him the deal. Like, I'm not saying, I don't think Zach does that, but you could be a broker for these deals and make money. Like, there's no rules. It's bananas. There's literally no licensing. There's no training. It's like, it's stupid. I'm just saying it, bro. Anyway, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do really, really quick. We got a nice little crew on. I'm going to see if anyone has any final questions, hurry and drop them in. While you're doing that, I'm going to go in and see if we can give away a little bit of merch. So give me 1 second. Zachary, is your real name Zachary, by the way?
Yep, Zachary Powell. That's
CH or CK?
CK. Yep.
Boom, dude. CK.
CKERY. Yep.
Okay, let's see what we got cooking here. Oh, okay. Boom. We got a winner. We have got at least one winner. Let's see if we got any more winners. Jed Polson. Jed Polson is our winner of our merch. Jed Polson, go ahead. And by the way, the merch that we're giving away is this. I'm going to bring it down here. We got the freaking this white badge, but the one that we're giving away is a white tee with the red badge. And you can hit up Ashley. She's got a link to our store, and you can go on and literally get a coupon code, put in your address, put in your size. It'll ship to your door. And you can go ahead and rock that shirt to the gym. You can go ahead and cut the sleeves off and go start doing press-ups on the sidewalk. Whatever you want to do, man. Enjoy the merch, Jed. Oh, I freaking love it, dude. Jed, it's funny because Jed is from the same city as my wife grew up. And we were just chatting before this, kind of ironic. And so anyway, dope. Zach Powell. Thank you for coming on, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Bro, we got a lot of interest. I can tell we got a lot of questions. I think what we need to do, let's plan a time where we either have you do it on this call, or we do like a completely separate thing where you can go and do a little bit of training and show people what you're doing as a value add. And again, guys, just to clarify, I want to say this last is you can do this in a very strategic way. You can go after SEO companies that are paying for SEO. You can go after these companies that need SEO that you can also sell lead gen to. You can go after niches that you could sell lead gen to, and cities that you could get a lead gen in. You could get the SEO deal, take some of the profits, build out a lead gen site, rank it, or start running ads. Call the business owner, say, hey, Frank, I know I'm sending you leads in Dallas, but I'm actually getting a bunch of jobs over in Fort Worth. I know you cover Fort Worth as well. This is totally separate. It's actually my own website. Would you be interested in just paying for leads on that one? I know you're paying for SEO on this one. I'll actually just give you straight up leads. And if not, no big deal, because I know Timmy is, I had a conversation with Timmy over at the grocery store. He said he's interested. What do you think Frank's going to say?
I want those jobs,
bro. It's like
I'm going to stop paying my Google ads and I'm going to pay you instead.
Yeah,
easiest sale
so easy.
ever.
They already trust you. They already are hungry to grow. It's like, yeah, of course I want those, bro. You already know I'm paying $1,000 to Google. Okay, cool. Let's shift the $1,000 to me. Instead of paying for clicks, you pay for leads. Boom, boom, boom. The bill goes to me as well. So now, I mean, dude, it's just so stupid. It's like freaking, what's the saying? Shooting fish in a barrel, right? Standing up there, boom, easy.
Yeah. Easiest lead gen sales ever, for sure.
Beautiful. And on the reverse, those of you that have lead gen in a strategic way, you can sell I mean, dude, there's so much money in this space. Once you tap in and once it clicks in your head, there's so much money floating around. Sometimes I sit here and I get those Stripe notifications. It's like, you just got $12,000 on its way to your bank, 4,000. It's like, and I'm looking at some of the people around me and I'm like, dude, there's people that are pounding rocks for $1 a day. The only difference is knowledge, dude, is what I'm doing with my time, what you're doing with your time, and what they're doing with their time. And they're working a hell of a lot harder than us, dude, physically. Some of you guys on this call are working 60 hours a week, busting your butts, ruining your bodies, and making a fraction of what me and Zach are making while we're sleeping. And I'm not saying that to like be condescending. What I'm saying is wake up, dude. You only have 40 hours. If you're going to work hard, great. Work hard and smart. And let's get the most return as possible. Let's get that high. Let's use the most amount of leverage as possible so that we can live a life that we want to live. We can go on Cabo trips with the boys. We can do whatever we want. So anyway, Zach, we are definitely going to do a follow-up to this. We'll do it in a couple of weeks. And thanks for being on, bro.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. No.
Appreciate it, guys. If anyone has any additional questions, drop them in the comments. And we'll try to answer them right there on the thread. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks. See ya.
0.